Now?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon. The Village of Lincoln Heights Safety Committee meeting Monday, June 21st, 2021 is now called to order at approximately 5:37. Roll call.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber. No response. We have two who are present. We do have a quorum.
Okay. All right, I will start with a prayer. Father God, we thank you. We thank you for rising us up this morning, Father God. We thank you for being able to use all our limbs today, Father God. We want to thank you for the residents here in the Village of Lincoln Heights. We thank you that you will clear our minds and clear our hearts so that we can make great decisions for the Village of Lincoln Heights. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from May 17th, 2021 with any needed corrections?
I move to accept the minutes with any needed corrections.
And I will second that. Any opposed?
No.
All right, great. All right, we're going to start with old business. Do we have any old business for safety?
Yes, we do.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Mayor. We have some old business, but we're gonna wrap it up into Ms. Joyce Powellsville's manager's report for the day is the things we talked about correcting in the past. So we'll do that then. Thank you for getting us started. Thank you for the wonderful prayer and making sure that our minutes are accepted. You did a wonderful job. Oh, I did have something listed for old business. I'm sorry. The no parking signs, and I know that we sent something to the law committee for them to take a look at what we have on the books concerning those parking signs. And I think that was it. Okay, the speeding out here is the problem. We'll talk about that when we get to the sheriff report. So we'll move on to new business, the monthly fire report. Amos, are you on? Or is there a representative from the fire department on? No one? Okay, so Lieutenant DePoli, it's your turn. And we're talking about what's going on with the sheriff and the Village of Lincoln Heights.
All right, good evening, one and all. Lieutenant Jeremy DePoli with the report for May of 2021 Lincoln Heights. I'll breeze over this once again here. Probably the two most critical incidents from May. We had firearms discharge and rehabilitation. Am I coming across okay? Everybody?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're doing great. Yeah.
That was in the 1300 block of Beals Avenue on the 4th of May. 4:56 hours, shots fired in the 1300 block of Beals Avenue. No victims were located. However, it appeared a resident's pickup truck and residents were struck by an apparent shotgun blast. There was one witness stating he observed a dark sedan fleeing the area at the time towards the interstate. There was no evidence available to process on that one. Shotgun blast does not lead to shell cases. So, and also no suspects have been developed on that one. Person shot, I think most everybody heard about that one on the 6th of May up there, 1400 Wabash. Oak Park Apartments, 1735 hours for reported shots fired. 17-year-old victim was located with a gunshot wound to his right leg. My guys applied first aid, put a tourniquet on juvenile's upper thigh until Woodlawn Fire was able to respond and transport the juvenile to University Hospital. Non-life-threatening wounds. The shooting suspect was not located. My understanding again that we had somewhat uncooperative victim in that one. That one is, they have not signed any charges yet, but my understanding is the charges will be pending. Still under investigation just a wee bit here by the CIS section. Felony drug possession. So we had also, let me take a step back there. We had 3 firearm recoveries and arrests during the month of May. 5 felony drug arrests. Kind of does it for most of the major reports. I'll let you refer to the copy of my report there for anything more. 26 total criminal reports, which is up from April. April, we only had 15 non-criminal reports, just 2 of them, down from the April total of 9. Of the suspects in the cases with arrest or warrant issuance, 2 were Lincoln Heights residents. The other suspects came to Lincoln Heights from the West End, North Side, Pleasant Ridge, Lockland, Coleraine Township, North College Hill, Orways, Batavia, and a couple from Reading. Again, a lot of those coming far away are the people who are getting caught on these drug arrests. So there's still somewhat of a substantial market for felony drugs up in Lincoln Heights for outsiders. That's one thing we hope to discourage in the near future. Traffic incidents. We logged 6 auto crashes in May, 31 traffic cites to Mayor's Court, and 47 to Municipal Court. 206 total traffic contacts. So we are again roughly around maybe 1 out of 3 people who get stopped or get excited, if that, probably even less. 0 OVI arrests. There were 8 felony arrests, 2 misdemeanors, and 6 minor misdemeanors. Dispatch report. 215 calls for service during the month of May, up slightly from 202 during the month of April. Brings us to about 1,017 for the year. By my count, we're probably a little up from the past years at this point for calls for service. 399 non-billable details, which generally includes things such as traffic stops and other investigations that officers might put them out on the radio on. That's up from 280 during the month of April, significantly up. Warming weather is going to create more contacts, obviously, more that's the way that one goes. Report of concern. Two issues brought to my attention on speeding concern on Shepherd Lane on the 3rd of May. The resident, I spoke with her personally. Issues being monitored with enforcement, particularly during daylight hours. Again, our concern with having young children and the speeding on Shepherd. Also, another concern was brought to my attention on the 19th of May. A motorist was stopped by one of my guys, and he was under the impression that my officers' actions were not lawful and proper. I watched the body camera. Everything that my officer did was spot on. Once I explained it to him, he had a eureka moment there and understood exactly what I was talking about. So we got that one straightened out as well. Cops grant. Fun stuff is coming here. 7 of the deputies attended the police bike training over in Anderson Township on the 29th and 30th of May. All 7 received their certification. As of the 18th of June, I'm still waiting on the uniforms to come in. Everything's been sized and ordered up. So as soon as we get the right equipment, they will be rolling out. I'm hoping to see them here. I got my fingers crossed anytime now. We talked about the movie night up there at Lincoln Heights Elementary during the last meeting. Talked to my guys, everybody, good times. Again, it stated last month, we're always up for any invitation or opportunity for community outreach. Whatever y'all have, get hold of me, Sergeant Deshawn, or any of our patrol officers. Contact, see them around, say something, we'll be involved. Deputies David Andre, Zach Kyle, and Brandy Terry were engaged with a group of homeless individuals at the Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist on the 15th. Our corner market pitched in, and they were able to provide some food items and other assistance to the folks up there. That's right there at the border of Woodlawn and Lincoln Heights. Deputy Zach Kyle, one of my guys that's out there right now, patrolling right now, and Josh Turner. I asked my guys to keep me informed on some of the things they're doing with the community outreach. Again, seems to be pretty popular playing basketball. It's one of the things that it might be my guys that we kind of push in that direction for the when the Globetrotters come to town. I think I might have my two guys picked there. Evert, been over this one, the domestic violence enhanced response team. 0 calls during the month of May. There were no domestic violence arrests, no incidents that required their response. That sums up what I have. Any questions? Ms. Linda?
I'm coming. I was looking at a telephone call coming from the village. There's a lot more activity happening in Lincoln Heights, but we only have 2 people directly associated with the activity. The other ones are from other communities, which seem that they have gotten the word that you can come to Lincoln Heights, and that's what they're doing. Is that a fair look at that?
I think it comes down to supply and demand, right? When you have a demand for drug, it's going to be supplied, right? And you still have some dealers up here. I mean, my guys are doing what they can. You know, we're not going door to door. We're developing information and intelligence. A lot of times, what we hope to gain from even a traffic stop. You know, anybody can go out and write a ticket. We all know that. You can bring a monkey out of the forest. He can go write a ticket. They do it in some of these small towns where they have these speed cameras. Anybody can write a ticket. That's not what we're about. My guys, I got a lot of very good investigative officers up here. What they're looking for from a traffic stop is to gain information, generally, about who these people are, why they're coming here, and again, what I'm seeing the pattern, which is not unexpected, is that most of people coming up here who are being arrested on these traffic stops are coming up here for drug purposes. Whether or not they want to cooperate with us and explain, if they've got drugs on them, we're not going to look the other way. It sends the wrong message. We got some guy up here buying heroin and he's from Batavia, turns a blind eye and not drugs. It sends the wrong message. There are procedures with the courts and so forth where, even with some of our drug units, where guys want to cooperate in the court system, charges can be lessened, but you have to get a little to get a little. You understand where I'm going here is the guy wants to roll over on his dealer. Well, sometimes it works out for him in court a little bit better. That makes sense. I think we understand how one works. So it's not always about just putting people in jail for whatever it is. All right. But there's obviously a market in Lincoln Heights with the drugs that attracting people from outside the village. Our concentrated effort on our end, more people that come from Batavia, come from Coleraine Township. We just arrested one the other day. He came from out here in my neck of the woods up here in Western Hills. Not coincidence that they're coming out there for the drugs. Well, I'm telling you, the word must have been around that the drugs are there, or they have a connection there. But the more people we stop, the more people who we're taking down to jail for drugs coming into Lincoln Heights from outside the community, more people we send to jail, the more the word gets around. Don't go up to Lincoln Heights. Stop going up there. You want to get your drugs, go to Lockland. Go to Reading, just don't go to Lincoln Heights because it's a heavy saturation area right now with police. And it's simple as that. That's the most effective response we can have is send that message that Lincoln Heights is going to be tough on crime. The officers here, the sheriffs working here are tough on crime. Do not come here if that's what you're here for.
Okay. Madam Vice Mayor?
that was one of my 2 questions that I had. Because I wrote down some notes. Is it a way that we can maybe sit at entrances, or are officers trained to recognize cars or certain behavior and dare? You know how I am about the kids. If we start with the kids, then I don't know, we can try to break a generational curse. That was one thing that I had. And the other one was, I forgot. I'll try to come back and remember that one.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or concerns about what is going on in this neighborhood concerning?
Yes, I remember now.
You got it? All
I
right.
remember now. The trucks parked on the road.
Okay.
Is that something we're supposed to discuss right now or later?
No, you can discuss it. I want to let you know I did report that to
Okay.
Ms. Lieutenant DePote, and also to the manager.
Okay,
or
then
the,
that's it.
or the assistant manager. I can't remember which one, but I did report that as soon as you called and they called me, I did that. And Lieutenant DePote was going out the door to find out what was going on down there, so he can talk about that.
If you said that you handled it, I'm okay.
Well, I did. The only thing I did was talk to Lieutenant DePote to find out if he had any officers in the area, whatever. And he said he was gonna go take a look. I did. I'm sorry. The mayor went down, took pictures, sent them to me, and I sent it to the assistant manager for her to take a look at what was going on down there. So we do have evidence that was going on. I'm not sure how much we can control what's going on in that area.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to do that before and it kind of stopped, but I don't know why it's picked up.
You're referring to the, excuse me, the semis that were parked on Wayne?
Yeah.
Going up towards Simmons?
Yes.
There's no signage there. There are no signs forbidding parking. There is nothing I can enforce there without any signage. That's, you don't want to make
signs.
Yeah, there are no signs whatsoever. The only sign I have seen anything that has anything to do with a semi is when you're coming northbound on Wayne, leaving Lockland, right there where the stop sign is, North Wayne, towards coming out of Lockland, there's a sign. But I'm telling you now, even we've had the discussion, again, forgive me, I forget who I had this discussion with, but the concerns about the vehicle, the trucks coming in, late afternoon into the evening and so forth. There's one sign that explains the restrictions. I believe it's hung right underneath the stop sign. And even that's going to be a failure in court if we were to even start signing charges on that. It would have to be clearly marked coming in off Shepherd, coming from the interstate. Most of your semi traffic is coming off the interstate. I think we all probably would agree on that. It's a logical conclusion. It's going to have to be clearly marked. Any truck coming in off Shepherd and going northbound on the Wayne is not going to, none of those signs are going to be in the way where they can see them. The proper signage is going to be the only way we can enforce anything up here as far as parking and semi activity. Simple as that.
Anything else, Vice Mayor? Want a follow-up question?
I heard that you said you think that you had 2 officers that may be able to do the basketball tournament or the basketball with the Globetrotters.
I did say that.
That's the best you can do, man, 2?
Have you seen my hook shot? No. Now, put me back in time about 20 years. I was probably too mean to go out there and play in the first place. I made sure to get my 4.5 fouls every game. And I made them count. I was a mean competitor back in the day, but I shot baskets the other day. I'm not going to embarrass myself anytime soon.
Okay.
I might have to get these guys out there for a couple hoops and see if they're good enough to get out there without embarrassing us. But I got 2 guys that like balling, so we'll see.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Baber had her hand up.
Miss Baber had joined the meeting. I didn't know she was in. Okay. Miss Baber?
Hello, I've been here for a good 15 minutes, I think.
It's okay.
But
I came,
hi,
I,
everybody.
I came in late, Miss Baber. I had my stuff was updating.
Okay. Yeah, I was just talking about those signs, and I was wondering because I know we had posted a bunch of signs on Shepherd Lane. I mean on Wayne, but they're not there anymore. The no parking signs that y'all were referring to. Do anybody know what happened to all those signs? Because I know it was at least good 3-4 of them going up Wayne from Shepherd.
Well, that's what I thought at one time. So I
There
don't
was.
know. I don't know what happened because we've had the same discussion over and over again for years. And at one time, I thought we had resolved the issue of them just standing there. Now, their thing is that they're waiting to go into the business there. So
Oh, I understand why they there, but I was
Yeah.
just curious to what happened to the sign.
I don't know.
Okay. And I wanted to let you know I was here. Yay. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I'm happy you're here today because I have some things to talk about after open to the public. We need to discuss. Okay, and you probably may be the best person to give me the answer that I'm looking for. Okay, anything else from Lieutenant DePoli? I want to say that I text.
I did want to say something. I want to give a compliment. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The other day I was riding down the street and I seen one of your officers, God bless him, toting one of our stop signs or something. I don't know if he found it on the ground, but I seen that he put that thing in that truck and I could have got out to help, but I was watching. I want to thank him because he could have just rolled by and just said nothing, but he actually stuffed it in that truck and I'm sure he turned it in and let somebody know, but that's appreciated. Little small things like that, I appreciate. And I think it was the weekend even, and he could have went on about his business, but he didn't. And that was a nice gesture.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Was this on Chicago, by the way?
There was a stop sign down at Miss Joyce had called me. I want to say that was at Chicago and Leggett, correct?
Yes.
Right, Chicago and Leggett. If I remember hearing right, was it a Metro that took that out? I can't remember.
Well, she doesn't know if it was a Metro or not, and I called you. She may have tried to call you before then, but she saw it down and saw it in a neighbor's yard, so she called me and I called the manager. And I thought I called you, but in any case, that's what happened with that sign up there. And she showed them where the sign had been placed. Someone picked it up and took it behind a house. So we don't know who. She thinks that the bus may have done that, but I believe if the bus did, they probably would have said something. I don't know.
I can tell you the rest of what happened there. In a nutshell, we know who decided they were going to keep that as a souvenir, and my officer was going to keep it as a souvenir. My officer used a bit of his community outreach influence, maybe, to say, "Hey, look, I'm driving away. I need that sign back out here because you don't want me sitting here all day and watching for whoever comes back and looking for that sign." Basically, he said, "You produce a sign or you're going to be seeing a lot of me sitting right here." I understand what you mean. And again, we're not talking about one of your most upstanding community members that this discussion was had with. Needless to say, he didn't want my officer sitting in front of his house for 3 hours a night. So that sign magically reappeared and was collected. So there you go.
Okay. Yes, we do want to thank the officer for getting out and doing that. It's back up, but it's leaning. It is leaning. I drove passed that yesterday and saw that was leaning, but the manager's report is coming up and she can help us with that. All right, anything else, Mr. Jeannie? Miss
Nothing.
Phyllis? Nothing? We ready to move on? I did I texted Amos to see if he was going to attend the meeting. He's on his way to the hospital with his dad. So he will not be here today, but we can get the report through our city manager, our village manager, Ms. Powell later. Okay, when I say later, I mean at a different meeting. All right. Okay, so we can move on along to village manager, George Powell.
Sorry about that. The only thing that I have which was a question regarding the sign issue. There seems to be that is not just an issue on a particular street, it's an issue throughout the village. And so my concern is there legislation or an ordinance on the books that indicates where those no parking signs should be? And if not, we need to do that. And if there is, we need to come up with a plan on how we put the signs up. I do remember in coming to the village, there are tons of signs in the village storage, but they're not up. And how do we do that?
So the signs back in the back are probably new signs.
Mm-hmm.
Are those reflective signs?
Yeah, they're
okay.
like stop signs and
okay, those were ordered because the state says that they want these new signs up, so they have the reflective piece when you drive them. That was supposed to happen back in 2017, 18, somewhere in there, but of course it was delayed, but the signs were ordered, they're just not up. So when you have your new staff come in, then they can replace the signs, and also the height of the signs. Some signs are down low, other signs are up where they should be. So we need to meet the sign requirement. So all that was on the book. Because we have changed management so many times that it tends to get lost, so you may not would have known that, but that is what was supposed to happen. And of course, Ms. Randolph may not know because she's fairly new to the village. So that means that we need people who are going to stick with us for years, including Officer DePotley, who is new to the village. So there are lots of things that we've done, and there should be information somewhere to tell you what all happened. But we run into these things and we're like, well, didn't that take place? No, it didn't, because the people that need to make it happen just don't know, So, but that's the reason why you have the new signs back then. They should be up by now, all of them, at the appropriate height. As far as the no parking signs are concerned, I asked the law committee to look into what's on the book for that, because there is something that tells you which street, no parking sign, which side that they should be on. But in addition to that, I am also going to ask them to take a look at Dixie and Chicago, between Dixie and Mangum. That area right there is a safety issue. It is a big safety issue. How do I know? Because I came up from Dixie, headed to Mangum, the turn on Mangum, and this big truck almost hit me. Why did it hit me? There is a mobile unit on the side that is selling goods. And when I say goods, I mean potato chips or whatever she's doing there. And then on the other side, you have some cones stuck in the ground. So, and one of them has been flattened. So the guy was trying to dodge that, and I'm over by the automobile, which none of that should be happening. None of it. So it is a safety issue. But I also want them to look at no parking on both sides in that area. And you don't have to do the whole street. You can do parts of a street.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. And so I want to also address that we are getting ready to execute a contract with the individual to go around the village and get the potholes. Also street sweeping. Actually, Vice Mayor, I'd like to start the street sweeping right before the Diamond Jubilee so that the streets are clean for the festivals, and probably going to need to do it right after to clean the streets for that. So I wanted you all to be aware that that will be happening. But let me go back to the sign piece in general. I think that there needs to be a strategy and approach to that, and working with the law committee, as well as how do we put the signs back up properly, based on the standards, and standards meaning the right height, the right sign, and so on and so forth. So I would like for us the administration to kind of look at that and see how do we do that. I don't see this being a short engagement. I think this has to be well thought out so that it's done in a way that it endures. So, because now, if I'm hearing you all correctly, signs were on Wayne and nobody knows where those signs are. So that's, to me, is a problem. And why is it happening? So that is concern. So if we could come back to safety, the next safety meeting with an update on what we think is the proper way to the approach to that, and then start to give you additional.
Well, you need to first of all see what's on the books, because if we had signs put up there, then we would have had to pass some piece of legislature. So you need to talk to Mr. Daniels about what the law committee is going to look at, do, or recommend, so we can make sure that happens. To Lieutenant DePotley, when you talk about the signs there, there's no evidence there's been in no parking signs along there anywhere that you could see?
I didn't get out and walk the sidewalk when I drove on the road there, and I looked, but like the rest of you, I mean, we started patrolling up here in Lincoln Heights in 2014, maybe? Does that feel about right? I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because that's when the 2014, 2015 came in 2014 as mutual aid. And then we got you on the contract after that, but mutual aid is for the first part of that. And that's because that's the year that the police department was dismantled.
But like the rest of you, I vaguely remember there being signs through there. I mean, I'm 43 now, so my mind's getting foggy and playing tricks on me every now and then. But maybe I imagined it. I don't know. I thought I remember there being signs through there. So
our neighbors do take them down now, and they don't use them as souvenirs. They just throw them over in the ditch somewhere, or in somebody's side yard, and where the weeds grow up over top of them. And the only time you discover them when the village have to go in and cut them, and then cut the grass or clear out the area, then you find these signs. So and I don't know why that happens. I guess maybe because they want to park on the street.
That is a reasonable conclusion, that there are some people that don't like law and order. They're just not rule followers, and that's
yeah.
And short of having a witness who would see that behavior, or one of us catching them in the act. You got a sign that's been laying there in the weeds for 3 weeks, 6 months, a year. It's not like we can get fingerprints off it. If it's been out in the elements, there's nothing we can do at that point.
Well, we don't need to look for fingerprints, but we definitely need to get them up because people just don't understand that it's a safety hazard, especially coming down Jackson Street. When you come down Jackson Street and both sides are parked and everybody's having a good time, and you need the emergency equipment to get through it. It may be somebody that's related to them. It's hard to get to them. So until people start to understand what they need to do and what they do not need to do, then we have a large problem out here right now. And we do. And we have someone that's going to come on later that's going to address some of that. And I understand it. We can address that together. So, you know, we need to find out what to do about this. Since this committee of safety, we're going to have to look at what the activity is and what it is that we are reporting to the manager and also to the Potley that is we feel that needs to be attended to. Vice Mayor, see you eyes up in there. You have something else you want to say about that?
Not at
No.
all. I agree with you.
Okay, at this time, I think the neighbors are just doing everything and anything. We have 10 additional officers out here and they still doing what they want to do. You know, so, okay. Hi, Ms. Powdrill's cat. Okay, anything else about that you need to ask Ms. Powdrill? Any other concerns?
Vice, I thought you had a question about the street cleaning. Do you have any concerns about that or the approach to that? Are you okay with that?
Mine wasn't the street cleaning. It was on that curb. I don't know if they finished working over here on Matthews Drive or not, but did they just do the curb? They're not doing the street, they just doing the curb, correct?
Donna,
Please tell me they're not finished.
Oh, no, they're not finished.
Okay,
You're
that's
talking
all.
about the street.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not
Okay.
finished. No, you're good. No, they're not finished. Okay, that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Also, we need to educate the people about what is going on with them, with the work that's happening out here. Because some folks are saying, well, you all doing sidewalks and around the curbs, no streets. So they must understand that this grant was something that took place many years ago and they're just now getting around to it. And it takes a long time once they have said yes to your grant. So, but we do need to get that information out there because some folks are upset because they have these potholes and they see work going on and sidewalks. And some of the sidewalks to nowhere. That was just me, okay?
Madam Chair, the safe routes to safe schools, the sidewalks, I don't think we did anything, but that the streets, we have that on our website, and we also did a robocall, and we also did letters to the residents on the street.
Yes, you did, but that doesn't explain about how it happened. Why is it happening? It doesn't explain. And let me go to robocall. Some people have been pushed off of robocall, so they're not getting that. And there are a lot of people that didn't sign up for robocall, so they're not getting that. Broadband hasn't kicked in yet, so they're not looking at that. And they still may not look at that once we get it. So in other words, our community is a little different. We don't use all the resources out here to find out what's going on. And we do need to do that. You know, so that may be a reason why that they don't know. Robocalls are fine. Robocalls don't address the issues. It just doesn't. And your papers that you sent out was wonderful. I have mine in a place where I can go look at it when I get a call about something that's going on. You know, I put it inside of a door, my closet door, so I can open it up and look at it, my linen closet. Open it up and look at what's there, especially for those vaccines, you know, so, you know, do all that, but I still get the questions about, you know, what is going on. You know, so thank you for the effort of sending out the robocalls, but the robocalls just don't get it. Okay, is that all? Okay. All
Yes,
right.
Madam Chair, it is.
Moving right along, and there's some things that I needed you to talk about, but we're going to talk about them with our guests today. Mr. Soloway, are you on? Mr. Soloway? He didn't come on today, Mr. Randolph?
Madam Chair, I spoke with him and I sent him the Zoom link. So I told him to contact me and verify that he got it, and I never heard back from him. At least
Okay.
up until the time I left.
Okay, so I understand what he want to talk about, and that's his property down there. I have reported to the manager and the assistant manager, to the mayor, and anyone else would listen about the activity that is going on a piece of property. I'm not sure who owns that property. On Memorial Day, I heard all this music up on top of the hill, thought it was at my house. So I went to take a look, only to find out that it's down the street in the field. And it was like it was a big celebration, a huge celebration where the neighborhood was invited to, became a big community picnic time. So they had the grills, the chairs, and it was difficult coming up and down the street, and the music was blasting. So I had a problem with that, and I reported that. On yesterday, they supersized that party. They had it on both sides of the street with a bounce house, I think, on Mr. Sidewhite's property. Either it was next door, I'm not sure. I did go down through there because I was in awe and could not believe what was going on. So those that didn't make the first party, they definitely made the second party. When I came back, that was at 1:45. When I came back in at about 8:30, people were trying to find parking spaces to get to it. So I don't know if Mr. Sidewhite is still living in that building or who owns the property across the street. But Ms. Baber, Councilwoman Baber, lives in the area, and perhaps she can help us with this so that we can notify the property owner, if it's not the village, that this has to stop. So I'm going to go to Lieutenant DePoli. You had your hand up. I was going to go to Ms. Councilwoman Baber because I need her help on this.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted you to clarify, is this Adams and Douglas? This is that property right
Adams
there?
and Douglas, yes. It's on Adams, near Douglas.
If the address given was right, I do believe that is, I checked the auditor's website. I do believe that is village property, right? We agree on that?
I don't know. I thought it was village property because someone else tried to do something on that land and we stopped it. So I don't know. You know.
I'm gonna look right here myself.
That is the reason why I needed Ms. Baber's help, because she's in that area.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify we were talking about the same property.
We're talking about the same property. Well, you should know because your officer should have been driving up and down through there.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think I also had the code enforcer to check that particular address you share with me, and we're looking to, I asked him to see about erecting a sign, identifying that it is public village property and there should be no loitering. So I know that doesn't immediately solve the problem, but that could potentially be helpful in partnership with the Sheriff's Department.
Yes, because at this point, there are lounge chairs, even umbrellas down there. There are barbecue pits, two or three of them. You know, so that has to stop. Are we moving the party around through the neighborhood and decided this is the main spot to have it? I don't know who sponsored it. I don't know any of that, but we definitely need to work with these people to let them understand that they cannot do that on the property and not on the property across the street. So I needed, when Mr. Satterwhite said he wanted to come and talk about it, I was excited about him coming because we need to know who is responsible for doing this and sponsoring the big party. Vice Mayor.
I think part of the situation is Like I've been saying from day one, we got to change the mindset of people. We still have people to change their oil on the street. We still have people to just have hangouts. And if you try to tell them, well, you know, you got to go down there, you got to get a permit, you got to ask permission. We got extra because we're going to need to make sure the streets are safe, the kids are being safe. It's a safety issue. I think that it's something that goes on. You know what? They have pop-up shops all the time. Our people don't know. I don't think that they understand that that's not right. That's not what you can do, or that's not acceptable. That's what I think. I think that people don't know. So when you approach them, you got to approach them with the mindset that they really don't know. Because I'm telling you, they didn't know. They didn't know that you got to ask permission, and you can't just post up just because there's an empty lot there does not mean that it doesn't belong to somebody.
You think this might be the same group that go around from place to place each year and find a spot to do these things in? Once you get them from one place to another. This is a different group?
You talking about this, like the group that had it down there at the Mariana Terrace one time, and then they, okay. I'm not for sure. I can't confirm or deny that one. I really think that it's just people, they don't know. Like Chipotle, he would have had his people stop him. His officers were probably thinking it's Father's Day. They out here cooking out. Nobody's shooting guns. It's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. And I'm not trying to take up for him or anything like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I think I am. Because I think that they did not know. I really do. I really believe that.
If they were not confronted after the first time, maybe not. And it became an okay thing to do. Yes, Manager Powell-Drill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm really about a solutions way. How do we solve this? So my question is to Vice Mayor. Your statement is that they don't know. And I see Councilman Daniels is on as well. I think that my question is there law on the book? And how do you have any recommendation to how do we inform people? And again, I think this is going to have to be a partnership with the Sheriff's Department. And how do we inform? And then if that happens, somebody needs to call, or we need the Sheriff's Department to break it up. I prefer not to have the sheriffs go to break it up. I prefer that people come to the village and follow the proper procedure to do that, because I think that could create even more problems. But I don't live in the village, but I really would like to hear feedback or the best way to approach that. So I'm asking for your some of your recommendations on that.
Okay, we have other council members on here, and I'm sure that they have been witness to some of this. So please feel free to chime in. I'm going to look at Councilwoman Mitchell. Do you have anything you want to say about this? And we've talked about, because you came in late, we have talked about Chicago and trying to do something about that area where that you have sales going on. So we did talk about that piece, but you may have something that will help us to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen, because 4th of July is coming.
Well, I think that many residents do know that they cannot just go on private property. So one of the easiest solutions is if you have to post something on private property that says no trespassing or private property, then we may have to do that. But I do think that many residents do know. And I think that there may be some who don't. But in addition to that, so there's something that we need to put in the newsletter. There's something that we need to send out separately from the newsletter. I mean, that's the only way that you're going to make people aware. You can't just put it in a newsletter, but you have to send it out separately so that that is the focus.
Mhm.
And I think that the sheriff department, if they know what properties are prone for that, they should stop and say, hey, do you have a permit? Now, we know we can't give a permit for private property, but there could be the encouragement to come down to Serenity Park. Now, I don't know whether they were, barbecuing or doing something like that, but a gathering point would be, definitely would be Serenity Park. But I think it is going to take an educational effort, but it has to be a true focus on, what the issue is. And especially, I don't know if the lot was left with debris on it or was the lot cleared, because that will definitely become an issue.
Well, the last time I believe that, and Donna is on here, she can address that she did go up and take a look. So Donna, you want to talk about that?
Okay, so when I went up and took a look on Adams, where they had the two
Gatherings.
No, the two barbecue grills. That property, I do not believe is ours. Ours is more on the corner of Douglas and Adams. Those corner lots are ours. If they were there, those are ours. But the information that I actually received today was somebody else owns that lot that they're at, and she gave them permission to barbecue or whatever they were doing for Father's Day. But I told him at that time that whenever they have an event, we do have a event permit. So they do need to come down here and let us know that they're having those events so we can have it properly secured with the sheriffs and, if necessary, the fire department. So just so the sheriffs and the administration know what you're doing up there. So we do have an event permit.
For someone else's property.
Yeah, if they're having an event permit where they think they're gonna have to block off the streets or something like that, we need to know that so our sheriffs can get involved.
Okay.
That's been on the books forever. So that's something everybody, well, I'm not gonna say all of them should know about it, but it's been on the books forever that if you're having some type of event where you're gonna have that many people in one area, we need to know about it.
Well, I thought when you were having that many people in the area that you had to actually, I know the permission piece, but also make sure that it can happen there, not just give them an okay. And again, Father's Day is gone and 4th of July is coming. So I'm sure if they did it for Memorial Day, 4th of July, then the next holiday is coming. And Mr. Solowhite had a complaint. Clerk of Council, Ms. Randolph, do you know what he said?
It's just that he wanted to complain about something going on near his party, across the street from his apartment.
Okay.
That's what his words were.
What I saw near his property or on his property was a bounce house or bounce something. Yeah. So, okay. So we know that we need to keep on this and see if we can't control some of the activity there, because it is it is a safety issue. Now they have the barbecue pits there, and barbecue pit number 2 and 3 rolled up. They had one, and now we have an umbrella that's there and lawn chairs that stay there. So if they're having a one-time event, shouldn't that stuff go with them? Just asking, somebody can answer that one.
Well, it doesn't sound like that they're having a one-time event. They're using that as a gathering place.
Yeah.
So, and the owner has given them permission to gather on her lot or his or her lot.
Do you know who the owner is?
I'm looking up on Cages, and it has a Sylvester Stinson.
Who? Sylvester Stinson?
Yeah.
And so
No relation.
Mary Stinson allow them to do that? That's okay. I would venture to say that we need to check with, I mean, I will ask Mary Stinson. I will ask her tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll call her tonight, but.
Is it your place to ask her though, Ms. Mitchell?
Well, I'm just saying I'm going to ask her because we go to church and whatever.
Okay,
and
okay. I'm just trying to,
I'm
I'm not being disrespectful. I just want to follow
I got you,
proper
but
protocol.
I'm
That's
just
all.
saying, it to me, it doesn't seem like that Sylvester Stinson, number one, is dead. Okay. So there are plenty people who own that lot.
Okay.
So you're going to have to go through whoever, but technically it would be Mary Stinson because she's the matriarch, but there are other people connected to the lot. But I just want to say, Madam Chair, that we have to be careful because back in 2009 and 10, we had Mr. Mims' property where they called Camp Hope, and people were gathering, and the person allowed them to do that. And then it just grew and grew to the point that they, it was like, it was a gathering place, and it became an issue.
I know exactly when that happened.
Right.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Also, I know this can stay in this committee, but we also might need to move some of this conversation to the Recreation Committee. This is an opportunity for the Recreation Committee to push Serenity Park. Let the residents know that it's come down there and barbecue. Get a permit. These are things that I think that works hand in hand with the Recreation Department. We don't mind people having Father's Day celebrations as long as it's done the right way. And if maybe they could have a little newsletter or something, recreation things with different monthly events or something. I don't know, or places you can go to do those fun activities, or tell them ways that they have to go to reserve a place. I'm not big on riding down on somebody and you own somebody's property, get off the property, move, keep it moving. Because these people planned this activity. That looked planned to me. I wasn't there, but I've seen it on Facebook. That looked planned. It looked planned to me.
It was on Facebook?
And to me, we know it was Father's Day. And I don't think that DePaule want his officers to have that, oh, he rolled down up on her. I remember him. We don't want that. We want our officers to be engaging. The officers, they don't even know that they couldn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So if they would have, this is when they start riding their bicycles and they ride down on something like that. Hey, how you doing? You got a hot dog for me? Oh, ain't this such and such? Are y'all supposed to be over here? Show me your permit. But all in a Cousin Pete type of way, if that makes any sense. I just don't want to be mean to people. I just want to educate them.
I think that that is what the manager is talking about, instead of being reactive, to be proactive about that. Is that correct, Ms. Manager? Madam Manager?
Yes, that is correct. I like Vice Mayor's approach, and that's what I was trying to get to, that let's make this collaboratively. I like Councilwoman Mitchell's approach. Let's educate. I know we have a problem with informing our residents. So using all those tools that we use, robocall, letters, all that we can to ensure that we as an administration are informing the residents. And I hear that all the time when they didn't know. So let's just take that away and do everything that we can to inform. And I think we have to do some things as a village of identifying our own property and putting a stake in the ground and saying, we own this, we will not have that type of activity on our property. And if that is there, and if the sheriff drives past and sees activity, they know it's our property, and they have the right to tell them to keep it moving.
Well, I totally agree with that, because I did see two officers on Memorial Day down in the spot down at the Billsville Valley Center. And I did not stop to say anything to them because I didn't want any issues. They were enjoying themselves and they were not doing anything to anybody except for they were holding up traffic on both sides, walking across the street. That is a safety issue. So, and then you have neighbors. So they didn't inform the neighbors that they were having an event. The neighbors need to know that, and plus they were parking everywhere. So that's an issue for me. I saw it. Once you see it, you can't erase it from your mind. So we definitely need to work on that. And it's up to us to get started with that. The mayor's here. Ms. Baber, are you still here?
Yes, Madam Chair, I am still here.
Did you want to say anything because it's close to you and Mr. Solowhite wanted to discuss this, but he didn't come. So did it bother you at all?
Well, it didn't bother me per se. I mean, it was nice to see I guess everybody was very orderly. So when I did go outside, I seen that everyone was very orderly, and it was pretty late in the day, and they had been out there. Pretty much all day since early in the morning. I think that the residents really enjoyed having something to do. It's like the party that recreation would have loved to put on, but for whatever reason couldn't make it happen. But the residents really do want be able to gather and enjoy one another. And that was the good thing about the park. I mean, the garden park that's going to be over there on Jackson, because that would be a place that they could gather as well. But there's no parking over there. I mean, there's nowhere to park because you already have all those apartment buildings that don't have parking lots. So I don't even know how they could really gather over there. But they are crying for a park. They want a park. I just attend a birthday party, and the people lived here in Lincoln Heights, but the party was in Reading. We had to go over to that nice, Lockland. We had to go over to Lockland's Park, that garden park over there. And then Reading have that really nice park where people go and they have their little family reunions or their gatherings or whatever. But we don't have that here in Lincoln Heights. So, I mean, that's what they're crying out for that location where they can gather and enjoy one another. And basically, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that, you were okay with them being right there at your house, And
I really had no problem with it because they were orderly and they really were enjoying themselves.
Okay. Anyone else? It is we have moved into the next hour, so I need to finish this, and we just need to think about ways that we can do this better. Bring them to let them know that that is a place that is not there for them to do that there, that you do have a park and that you can take advantage of that park. But we must get the message out. All right. All right, so Mr. Daniels is on. Mr. Daniels?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have anything that you wanted to say?
It's a very, I think it's a productive conversation. I agree on both ends. Obviously, there's a process, but I agree with Ms. Baby that the residents want to, that I think the residents enjoy being around each other. I think that's what makes Lincoln Heights so beautiful. So as long as we can do it in the most safest and procedural way possible, I believe that's a word, then let's do that. But I think it's a great conversation.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
I did want to add what we can do collaborative is as we begin to assess our properties And we've talked about it. It's been quite some time about the pocket parks. That's a great opportunity for us to look at the lots that we have as we begin assessing the properties. What does it look like for Lincoln Heights to come up with some pocket parks in areas, or an actual second park where the residents can barbecue, have a shelter, you know, anything positive for them. We do need something like that in the village of Lincoln Heights, and there is grant opportunities out there with the Triangle Trails conversations that they're continuing to have, and that's something as a village that we need to look into. I know I continue to go to the Mill Creek Alliance meetings, and there is grant opportunity, and I'll be able to bring information back to the village to see where the funding is at, because they do have funding for bike trails, walking trails, and you can collaborate that into a park as well. So yes, it is in need. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, we finished. I need to turn this over to Ms. Mitchell. Any miscellaneous items? The announcement. I don't have an announcement, but I need to, this is my opportunity to say something to Mr. Daniels, and I can put it out there. Mr. Daniels, I did try to call you. I left a message, and the reason why I left a message for you to call me, that I had a question. The question is about the parade form. There are people outside the community want to be in the parade, except for I need a form. And I was told that you needed to update it so I can send the form out. That's all that I wanted to ask you a question about, that you never returned that call. Thank you. Okay. Being nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn, please. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Key, did you have anything? I just totally looked over you. Ms. Key?
No, ma'am, Madam Chair, not this time.
Oh, God. Okay, baby. All right. Being nothing else, need a motion to adjourn the meeting, please.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you. And thank you for allowing us to run into your time, Madam Chair. Madam, I'm sorry, Madam Chair of the Finance Committee.
No problem.
Now, y'all.
Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Vice Mayor made the motion to adjourn. Who seconded?
Me.
Were you second? Okay.
Me or Miss Baby? Miss Baby, did you second? She may have. I think I heard her.
Oh,
If
I
not,
didn't hear
you,
her.
and you
Okay.
can use.
I was going to second it. I was seconding it, but you
I went before.
you said it's been second. I mean, you kind of
Okay.
said it had been seconded before it rolled off my tongue, but I was, right there, getting ready to say it.
Okay, we're using Miss
So I
Baby.
guess you did it. So I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Mitchell, are you giving us time or?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I see that Lisa is preparing herself.
Okay, all right, because I'm here. My camera's just off.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Village of Lincoln Heights Finance Committee is, for the month of June, is now called to order. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Present.
We have 5 who are present, Madam Chair. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Lord God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings, grace, and mercy you have given us. Lord, we realize we are blessed to have been incorporated for 75 years. Lord, we thank you for seeing us through 2 fiscal emergencies that allow us to continue to exist. We appreciate your guidance, Heavenly Father, and we pray for continued wisdom and guidance as we do the business of the village to your glory. This we ask in your son's name, amen.
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 All right. There a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting, May 17th?
I move to accept the May 17 minutes with any corrections.
Second.
Thank you. I do want to note, Ms. Randolph, will you make sure that the minutes, the motion prior to the new business, it should state to recommend acceptance of the April 2021. The motion was made to approve the minutes, but it just says to recommend. Should say to recommend the acceptance. Thank you.
Thank
All in
you.
favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oh, okay. Thank you. Motion is passed. Old business. So let's take a look at the minutes that we have for last month. There are just a few things that we need to take a look at. So on page 2, Ms. Pope, which I'm talking about the Ms. Hopkins payment, is she on schedule?
No, and as a matter of fact, today I received a payment from the Hamilton County Probation Office for $908.
So she's missing $300. Is a $1,200 a month payment, correct?
She sent $300 at last month. I'll have to pull up that information. I don't have it in front of me. Okay. Her last payment received was $383, I want to say.
All right, and there's nothing that we can do. We just, or do we wait till it gets quite delinquent?
I'll refer to the mayor and or the village manager because they went to the court hearing.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
at that particular time when we did go to the hearing, there was no mention of if she started missing sporadic, not paying the payments in full. I would recommend that we reach out to our solicitor and ask them, because they did not mention, they gave her a second opportunity to make payments, but looks like it's going to be a problem as far as I see.
All right, so if this committee so desires, I'll entertain a motion at the end of the meeting that we ask the solicitor to assertively go after our due payment. If you so desire, we can offer that motion at the end of the meeting.
Madam Chair.
At the end, Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, Ms.
Madam
Key.
Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we know what's the balance that she owes?
Yes, I think, what is her balance, Ms. Pope? Can you recall?
$39,990. And then with this payment, 908. So
39.
yeah, 39.
And Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
at this point, how delinquent is she?
Well, this is only her second payment for the year.
And Madam Chair, she was scheduled to pay monthly, right?
That's right.
My last meeting?
That's right.
Okay, I was just making sure it's worth the extended cost to have our solicitor approach or do something beyond what the courts are doing. But it sounds like it might be. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
do we think that is, if it wasn't COVID, I would say move forward, but What do you think courts are going to do? Courts are going to get some leeway due to COVID, I think, in my opinion. I don't know what like, for example, child support or probation does in the time during a pandemic. You know, they're giving everybody else a break. Why wouldn't they give them a break? That's just my opinion on that.
Right. No, I think it is worth the attorney at least looking into it to see what we have to do. And for the most part, it's probably a letter. But if we just continue, in my opinion, to just do nothing, then she'll continue, and it will take longer than 5 years, because it's going to take 5 years to get it back anyway at $1,200 a month.
But Madam Chair, keep in mind that the reason why they brought her back to court is because I kept calling down there and asking why she was, missing, or informing them that she was missing her payments, which they knew also. But that's why they brought her back in to court, because we were asking about her payment. So,
well, and it may not have to go through the attorney, but I would certainly think that we need to make sure that either you or the manager or Mrs. Desai, somehow we need to be on a more regular basis. I can understand the pandemic. However, I'm sure that there have been, just like with your car, you had some leeway, but those leeways are going away. And so we're stuck. So I just think it's worth us. I'm trying to just make sure that we do use all the avenues to get our funds, Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I agree also, because when I look at how long it took us, if it wasn't for Ms. Pope calling, how long it would have taken for us to find out that she was delinquent. So it is important that we stay on top of it, because those amounts do add up, especially when you're expecting for $1,200 to come in on a monthly basis. And so that was almost 2 months ago that we went to that meeting.
Okay.
Madam Chair, one more question.
One moment, Ms. Key, Ms. Charles-Jeter. You're muted.
And my personal thing is you should let them do their job. And as Ms. Pope did, call when it's necessary to find out what's going on. I don't, they have assigned this to her as the amount that she is due to pay the village, but then we want to make sure that it happens, but you have a resource without going through all of that. She don't pay it. She doesn't have a choice because the courts have lined her up to do that. So in my opinion, I don't need to do their job. They can do it.
Ms. Key.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just thinking that, do we have any recourse such as garnishing wages or liens, or going after her more aggressively than we have been? Because it just doesn't seem like it's been, I hear what Ms. Pope is saying, but that's still taking time out of her day to track that down. I don't know what we're able to do.
I think Ms. Pope, you want to address the PERS.
I think when you're dealing with the, when it becomes a finding for recovery from the state auditors, they take on the collection efforts. We don't have anything to do with it. We reported that there was a theft, and then they go through their processes of getting us back that money. So I don't know how aggressive we can be, if it'll make a difference, because they're the ones who's doing this.
Okay.
The state of Ohio, Ohio Attorney General's office.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Pope, did we include any of these funds as a possible revenue stream for 2021?
I think I did.
Because if we did, so, we're not going to.
No, I put that under miscellaneous mayor's court. So miscellaneous, you can't actually estimate that. I mean, okay. you can, on your files how much she owes, but we can't actually estimate that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then we go on down to page 2. Just at the bottom of page 2, where the mayor indicated letting taxpayers know where their monies go. I just want to suggest that we put that in the newsletter. Either the mayor or the tax administrator can kind of talk about that, how those funds, how much funds go to the school district and the other county entities, so that everybody doesn't think that all their money is coming to the village. You know, I know that's a misnomer every now and then.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. You're talking about taxes as far as earnings tax, or you're talking about property?
At the bottom of page 2, the mayor talked about the importance of letting taxpayers know where their money goes. In other words, a lot of people think all their taxes come to the village, their property taxes and all of that. You know, sometimes people don't get their tax duplicate because it's paid through their insurance, or you even have those who rent who might be paying taxes, but yet their landlord is also paying taxes, paying the property tax. So I believe the mayor was just saying that everybody know where their tax money goes, so that they don't think it all comes to Lincoln Heights.
So you want us to explain the difference of earnings tax and property tax?
Well, all of it, because, you know, it doesn't hurt to say you have X amount going to the school. You have X amount going to the zoo. We don't have to go into detail, but the mayor suggested it, and I just thought that it would be nice to make sure we see that breakdown in the next newsletter, some form of fashion. So.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm going to suggest we do, and that's a great idea. A lot of people go by visual. So what they normally have on the Hamilton County Auditors thing, they have a grid showing the breakdown. It's like a little circle, and it shows you the pie. The pie and the degrees of where everyone's tax dollars go to: zoo, school, local municipalities. So we can do something like that in the newsletter, and then have like a short narrative explaining it to the residents, because like we did talk about a lot of, and that's not just Lincoln Heights. A lot of people do think when they say, I pay my taxes to my municipality, they think a majority goes to that municipality. So that grid, I think a little grid or something that's similar to what they have on the auditor's website, I think that would help. And then break it down, narrative where they can understand it. Nothing complicated.
Thank you, Mayor. On the next page, we have information, page 3, but we'll get to the tax budget shortly. Mayor, on page 4, you talked about the date for the tax court. Did you tell us that, or have you all decided that yet?
Actually, Madam Chair, I talked to Ms. Peterson today, and I told her I would bring this information up to you on Monday. Okay. She did, so I'll have a breakdown. We were just talking in general, and I had expressed to her the concerns that the committee had mentioned. And so she's gonna, which I'll do Monday, share the timeline with you all Monday. Okay. Looks like she's planning to roll out them into Mayor's Court in October. But there is going to be a series of letters, 15 days, allowing them so many days after that. But I'll have more detailed information for you all, agreed and everything at Monday's meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At the bottom of page 4 in the minutes, we talk about the gate, and that we use the CARES money for that. Ms. Pope or Ms. Powell, where are we on that? I'm just looking for an update. You were supposed to check the warranty information and see. Ms. Key had asked about, future maintenance, and that it was supposed to be done in a week.
Okay, so it hasn't been done in a week. When we talked to Mills Fence, they were having issues just like everybody else with supplies. So the problem is that they didn't get all of the supplies in necessary to complete that job within a week. And we're still waiting on privacy slats for the fence because it's a privacy fence. So that has been the holdup.
Okay. And so we're not, and there's no issue for us not to have it done at a certain time, or is there? You know, I know we had to show that the money was going to be spent.
No. I think we have until the end of the year to spend the CARES Act, the first batch of the CARES Act money. It's been extended to 12/31.
All right, thank you. On page 5, in the middle of the page, I had mentioned about the fire hydrants and the assessment that appeared on the water bill, and you were supposed to find out if we if the fire hydrants are assessed to everybody or just to where they're located, to those properties.
Okay, and I didn't find out that information. I'm unclear on that myself. I believe, no, I didn't. I tried to call Amos to get some information about fire hydrants, and then what I need is somebody's bill to see how that works.
Okay, I will.
Just if it's just if you're located or if it's period.
Okay.
To all the owners.
Well, I mean, I can provide a bill for you if you need to actually see that.
That would be great. And we can use that for the newsletter also, as long as we block out, you know, your name and information.
Okay. Okay, the last thing that I just wanted to go over under new business was Ms. Powdrill, in terms of the Department of Public Works. So I know that we are saving money, but do we have a deadline as to when we are going to actually begin to open that department?
Madam Chair, I'm in the process. I just received a batch of resumes, and we'll be rescheduling interviews this week. I want to make sure that it's a good fit for the village and for the future of the village. So I'm asking for grace through this process to make sure that we get the right fit for the village. So hopefully within the next 30 days, we'll have someone.
All right. All right. Thank you. Does anybody have any other questions about the minutes, what we discussed last week and the updates? All right. Ms. Pope?
Okay.
I'm on mute, Madam Chair. I'm sorry. I'm on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Daniels.
No, that was on me. I'm on mute. Small question. It's almost to that back end from a finance. It might need me to be brought up in new business from a finance standpoint as we talk about just community cleanup and grass cutting. Is there an opportunity to offer stipends? And I know you had talked about it previously as well, Madam Chair, to
so
residents.
Mr. Daniels,
yes,
I'm going to stop you right there, and we can bring that up under other.
That's fine. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, because I do
yes,
have questions about that myself as we were going to go through the finance.
That's fine. No, I appreciate that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Pope?
Okay, you have under the agenda, you have the 2022 tax budget first. Is that what you want to do, or you want to do the finance report?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Under the agenda, you have the 2022 tax budget listed first. Is that?
Yeah, that's what, yeah, under old business, right, that's where we are.
Okay. So I sent you all updated corrections to the May.
Hold on 1 minute, Ms. Pope. Yes, Ms. Jeter.
Are you going to share that on the screen?
What's his name? Is it Steve? Steve, can you give me sharing?
Steve.
Stephen?
Steve left town?
Steve might be gone.
Well, I guess you have to continue on then.
Okay, so I sent you guys an email with the 2022 tax budget and the May financial reports on it. So you have this document. But the 2022 tax budget, this is the complete budget that I will send down to the county auditors. Once we pass the budget, we don't have to wait until the 15th. Seeing that it'll be passed before the 15th, I can go ahead and send it down. But the budget has to be passed by July 15th and submitted to Hamilton County auditors by July 20th. But if we're doing that Monday, we can just go ahead and submit this. Just an overview of the budget. You have 2 years of actuals, 1 year of the appropriations, and 1 year of the estimate. So you have 19, 20, 21, and 22. You'll have in detail the general fund. They want the general, it'll be all the levies. So it'll be the general fund operating levy, the fire department, the fire levy, the police levy, the police pension levy, and then also the infrastructure. But they usually it's on the books as road and bridges. So it's the same levy for every community.
Could you speak up just a little bit, please?
Okay, let me turn my volume up. Do I sound better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So what were you saying was considered roads and bridges? Infrastructure?
Yes. Okay. So they want detailed information on your general, those 5 levies that we have on the books. So I gave you a couple of meetings ago, I gave you all the levy information, all the information for all of the levies that we have. And then we also discussed all the other special revenue funds. So I made corrections because some of the totals were incorrect. I made corrections to that. And also I gave you a copy of the, it's the summary of accounts required from general property tax. So I gave you a summary of all the levies, of all the estimates. And then I gave you a copy of the notice of the public hearing, which is 15 minutes prior to June 28th. So it'll be at 6:15. And then I gave you a notice of the public hearing on the 2022 tax budget that the printers they will sign off on this, saying that we sent it down. I sent it down before I left for my training. So they received it, I want to say the 11th to be posted. And that will be the 9 pages that will be sent down to Hamilton County auditors for our 2022 tax budget. And if you guys look over this before Monday or even by Monday, and if you see any addition errors or if I need to correct anything, titles or anything, just let me know and I can make those corrections before you guys pass this budget on Monday.
Ms. Pope, I just have a, I guess it's a nominal amount, but I didn't know if the numbers were transposed on page 1 under Xeroxing. You know, you have $41 and then for 21, for 22, you have 14.
Where are we at?
On page 1 under Xeroxing, 4,400. I'm just wondering, is that a transposed number?
Oh, page 1.
You know, and then you see what I'm talking about? 40, right up under charges for services.
Yeah, no, it's not transposed. We don't really get that much, so I just
Right.
report to. We usually get a couple pennies for charges for Xerox. I think we only charge a nickel. Is it a nickel a page? So we only use.
I don't know. Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Right.
So the other question I had is on, and I don't know if I asked this the last time, but I had it marked the last time. When you talk about under intergovernmental revenues, the municipal income tax, what exactly is that? The last one, 4160.
Where we at? What page?
In the second section, first page. The very last one, just before the total, you have 114, 171. What exactly is that?
So that is your, I think it's called net profit taxes. It comes from the Ohio, it comes from the state of Ohio, and they'll have this form where it's just a net profit tax, and it's usually a very small amount. It amounts to, you know, me being able to say we will probably only get $71, but I can print off one of those forms for you and let you see a copy of it.
Okay, so and it comes from what? I mean,
Ohio.
Yeah, but I mean, what generates that?
Okay, well, let me look at it.
You know, I can understand the cigarette tax and, you know, the liquor and beer tax. So
municipal net profit tax. Distribution of the revenue received for a given month will be, okay, never mind. Provide.
Okay, well, you can provide it to us later so that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes if we see it in writing, we can kind of decipher for ourselves, but I just, so in last year, we didn't get enough taxes in to get a tax, a net profit.
I'll have to look that up.
Okay, so if you just have it for us, because I guess we'll see it again eventually. All righty. Thank you. You can go ahead. Anybody have any other questions about the tax budget? I think what's important to note is on page 6. Ms. Pope, you want to explain why you highlighted?
On page 6, when we were reviewing this the first time, my calculations were off. So I had to go back and update the totals. So the totals were off. They weren't added in properly.
Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
We may have an old copy. Can we go over those numbers for page 6? Because I think she updated it after I got this out the mailbox. And it was late that I was down there. When did you send your updates, Ms. Pope?
Matter of fact, you got the updated version. The last.
Okay, after 4 o'clock.
So does yours end with the first column? I'm trying to read off my screen and can't see it.
I just want to make sure we got the right copy in front of us.
Yeah, yours should, the right copy would be page 6. It should be 107,047, that first total. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want me to read off the totals or what?
I just wanted to make sure I had an updated copy in front of me.
No, I'm talking about Madam Chair.
Oh, if she needed, I mean, if you know, with Ms. Pope, if this were corrected, yeah, read them out because she wants to know if she has the right one, because you have the same thing on the last month's report, right? Only the figures would have been a little different, correct?
Correct. So
she just wants to make sure she's looking at the right one. But look, if you look down at the bottom of your page, Ms. Vice Mayor, it should say, if it says corrected 5/18/21.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I'm good then. Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
What I would like, because I know the residents are watching and this information is so vital. If Ms. Pope, maybe she could do it in miscellaneous business, list when the levies and when they're going to end for the residents that are watching.
Okay.
The levies that she mentioned, she talked about, she had given the information to us, but for the sake of the residents, they may need to know when these particular levies are going to end, like at least the one that's going to end soon, because I don't think we're putting anything on the ballot this year, but I'm thinking something is going to be ending soon or next year.
Madam Chair, I can answer that real quick without us having to move it.
Right, go ahead.
All our levies are continuous. So we have a police levy, police pension, fire levy, and infrastructure. All of those four are continuous. Our general operating levy, it renews every 5 years, and we just did a renewal in 19, I believe it was in 19.
Okay.
So we do that in 24.
Yeah, and remember,
do we do it in 24 or do we do it in 23 so it becomes effective in 24?
I was just getting ready to mention that when we usually put them on the ballot for the year that we think they're supposed to renew, which they actually do, but we have to keep in mind that we have that upcoming year because the taxes are not paid until that upcoming year. So we want to make sure, I learned this in training, thank you very much.
Oh, good, we glad you went.
We want to make sure that we don't cheat ourselves out of that last year of the levy. So even though we renew it, say if we were going to renew it in 23, we put it on the ballot in 22, and we put it on the ballot on 21, we still have 22. So it is a renewal, but we want to make sure that we don't lose that last year by our verbiage. So we just have to make sure that we put the correct verbiage in there.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, does anybody have any questions regarding the tax budget?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
On page 4, can we go down to almost at the bottom where it says revenue over/under expenditures?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we please get, and there's also another one at the top that looks like it. So I'm looking at the one from the general fund balances as well as the one under the police fund.
Okay.
So the one at the very top and the one at the very bottom.
Okay. So you're looking at the one that at the top under general fund that has no figures.
I think
is that the one you're looking at?
Yeah, but I'm thinking, I'm trying to make sure I'm reading it correctly.
Okay.
So we're saying that, so let's go to the top of the page on page 4. So am I reading this properly? General fund balances, revenue under or over/under expenditures. Is that all one category? That's my first question.
Yes.
And can you explain why we have some in negative and some in positive?
Because usually in the general fund, we do spend more than what we receive. So we'll spend more than our estimated revenue. Let's say our estimated revenue is 1 million and we spend 1.5 million. That's because we always have a beginning balance, which you see the beginning unencumbered balances out these totals. So our estimate.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Okay. All right, that makes sense. I guess I was looking at, it says actual, I'm sorry. It says actual 2019. So I was looking up that column and trying to figure out why our actual was in a negative.
Right.
But okay, that makes sense. All right, thank you.
Are you good for the one at the bottom?
I think so. I'm assuming it's the same concept.
Yes.
Okay. All right, then yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, Ms. Pope.
So this, I'll send this over to I probably need it before early Monday anyway. No, I probably need it Friday if you have any corrections, so I can get it over to Deepak. So he may only have to do a front page legislation. I don't think he's gonna try to do a spreadsheet. So I can get him to prepare the legislation as soon as possible.
Ms. Pope, are we advertising in the Herald? Where are we advertising?
We didn't advertise in the Herald. We advertised in Inquirer Media, Cincinnati Inquirer.
I'm sorry, in the Inquirer?
Yes.
Okay, let's show the Herald some love.
I will. Okay, so are we going back up? Are there any questions or?
Guess not, so let's move on to the next report.
Okay, so the next report is our May financial narrative. Can you guys hear me? You can hear me okay? So our reconciliation report at the beginning of May 2021, there was $2,003,728 at the beginning of the bank. In our revenue section, our total receipts for the month of May was $154,231, which is a 29% increase over the same period of May of 2020 of $109,418. The difference comes to play with increased tax collections. From 2020, we had $39,005. In 2021, in the month of May, we had $69,485. Our local government fund collections increased from 8,076 in 2020 to $13,524. And our mayor's collection actually increased from $81 to $4,400. And you remember the courts was kind of shut down. So that's why that number was extremely low. Our year-to-date receipt totals is The year-to-date receipt total of $1,279,227 is leaving a 48%. I got to change that sentence. It's 48% of our estimated receipts of $2,685,163 to be collected. So we've already collected 1,000,000, 1.2.
So Ms. Pope, let me ask you a question right here. So what was our budget for this year? Our appropriated budget?
Our appropriation or our receipts?
Yeah, when we said our appropriation, what are we saying? Because I guess this amount, typically our usual amount is 2 point something, but this also includes the other grants and things that we are expected to get.
Yes, that this 2.6 is the estimate of all receipts across the all funds. So it's all
right. I'm just saying it looks, I just want to point out that typically this looks like our normal budget for a year, right? 2 point something, but we've already received 1 million.
Yeah.
So the amount is that because of the CARES and all the other things that we received is why this is high. If we were to go back and look at some other years, this 2.6 would actually be almost like our total yearly budget, correct? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, so if 3 years ago, what would have been our annual budget?
2-3 years ago, we look back on our tax budget. The general fund was 1.5. And I would have to add up all the other
Right, which would make it about 2 point something. I'm only bringing it up to say,
Oh,
we
we did
just,
have, yeah, we didn't have CARES, but this estimate does not include CARES Act money.
okay,
It
that's what I'm getting at. So when we start looking at this, we start thinking, oh, our normal budget is about 2 point something, but we're getting more money into what we have in the past years. And so we haven't gotten all our CARES money, so we still have more to come. Okay.
We're receiving more in tax collections through Ms. Peterson's effort to really notify our residents and let them, know what that they have to file taxes, and let them know about their estimated quarterly payments that are due. So, and then the local government fund, they're giving us, we're receiving extra money, and I'm assuming that's because of what they have down there, our percentage of their total.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So a total of $53,058 in ACH deposits was received in May. Now this following table, it does not total 53,058. I just wanted you to see what comes in constant. So every month we receive Ohio Business Gateway collections, and every month we receive the state of Ohio gas, excise, permissive tax, and local tax. And every month we receive from Hamilton County Treasurer, local government fund, and the motor vehicle fund. So these are not going to total this 53. I just want you guys to know that. But these are your consistent deposits that we get every month.
Okay, so when you say they're not going to total that 53, because I think this is where the confusion came in when me and Ms. Powell sat down and looked at it. So the total of ACH, those are deposits.
Yes.
Those are deposits, but
yes.
So there's a difference between the deposits and the collections.
The ACH is, I guess you can put them in the under the collections, because Ohio Business Gateway is collections, but gas excise, that's a percentage of what we get from the state. So the state gives us so it's not like a collection, like somebody's behind on their bills. It's a receipt that we're going to receive every month.
Okay, so this I think this is where I become confused. So you said a total of 53,000 in ACH deposits.
Right.
But when you give us these totals, are there some other funds that don't come monthly that are included in that?
Yes.
And such as?
Well, actually, the waterworks company should be on here every month, but they've been so inconsistent about us receiving a payment every month. So the water company should be on here, but it's also going to be their total gross amount. So what they deposit in our account is not going to match. It's going to be off by the fees that they actually charge us for processing.
And that's what you put on the, I mean, we see that on the reconciliation, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
And so to further explain, the tax department, the increases, the difference in the increases, the comparison table, when we have this 21 increase is because of the work that we're doing in the tax department by informing the residents that, they have to file their taxes. And even if they apply for extension, they still have to pay their estimate or what they're going to owe for the year. So they still have to pay that. And then letting the business, keeping up with the businesses that are in Lincoln Heights, letting them know that they have to file tax reports and do their do their quarterly payments also. So because of these efforts, you keep seeing this increase in our total tax collection. So for the month of May, it was a 21% increase overall. And on the business side, it was 308.5%. So you'll see down on this paper on the business side, in May of last year, we collected 1,611, but this year we collected 6,582. So it's because of these efforts that you keep seeing the increases. Hopefully, we will keep seeing the increases all throughout the year, because we did estimate a higher tax collection for 2021. Now, on the expense side, for the month of May, we spent $422,000, which is a 48% increase in spending. And that's because this year we paid the fire department contract, and we also paid the quarterly Rumpke bill in May, and those are normally paid in April. So that's why you see that difference there. Okay, so the total amount of checks that we wrote for the month was $388,852. And listed below are the checks that any of them that were issued that were over $5,000.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
may I ask a question about checks written, please?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the check registry report, and I see that we skipped quite a few numbers in the check registry report. I appreciate you putting all the payment detail and all that. That's very helpful. But I thought we were going to also, if we have to void a check or something to show that, you know, we skipped it, either it was destroyed, whatever it was, that we were going to include it so that we know what happened to that check number. So for instance, I'm looking at 49,649, 49,650 are both missing. Then
Oh, could you jump back to page 5, Ms. Key?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was just waiting for her to get to checks.
Can you wait till we get there?
Oh, I'm sorry. She was on check, so that's why I asked. That's why I
she's
said,
on those
can I ask a
checks
question
that
about
came to
checks?
over $5,000.
No. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine. No problem.
Okay. Does everybody have their report, or do you want me to mention everyone that was over $5,000? Because I think when we were talking, Ms. Mitchell, you wanted me to break down the Ohio Public Works Commission.
Right, so that we could see, you know, just what that was, you know, how much was for each street.
Okay, so the total payment that we sent to OPWC was $6,455.30. And that was for 2 payments, one for Dixie Court for 1716, and then the other one was for Leggett, and it's $47.39. And these are biannual payments, so I'll pay another one. I'll pay the same amount. I believe it's in September, or it might be August.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
The Hamilton County Sheriff payment, that pays us up until what time again, Ms. Pope?
That was for 2 months, so they are, I believe they're current now. I'll have to look at the invoice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I was looking at that. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to give her the information or.
Yep, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ms. Pope, we don't have to wait for that if you,
Okay.
Ms. Mitchell.
All right, go ahead. Just let her know. That's fine, or let us all know.
I'll let you know. Okay, and then so of course we said we were going to list the charges for the credit card in the amount of $3,524, and we went to The vendors that we paid this month was Fortress for 26, Fire King for 35, Pods storage for cleanup was $254.76, Menards 28.81, Liquidator World, we bought some tables and stools for $407. Our Bit Defender is our protection for our computer, $194.02. Lowe's paint for the streets, where Mr. Williams is marking the streets, or marking the lots that we own, and that was at Lowe's for $11.98. Central Tool for the chipper for cleaning up the lot a few months ago, it was $494.68. Marshall's wood shelf for the lounge area, $99.99. And the Home Depot lawnmower. So Miss Cynthia, she can do the island, the smaller lots that we own, and it was for $610.29. And then Menards, we had to get some additional paint for the streets for $14.84.
Madam Chair.
So Ms. Pope, when you say that that Ms. Wilson is going to do the smaller lots, do you mean just City Hall and the islands, or do you actually mean the 40-foot lots?
No, just the smaller lots. It'll be the islands, and then she may do
Right away, the burns and stuff. Okay.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Pope, those numbers don't add up to $3,500. Are we missing anything?
It was a couple credits on the statement.
I'm sorry.
It was a couple, we received a couple credits on this statement.
Okay, so that would be good.
Okay.
To know.
To list it. Okay, I'll make sure I list that the next time.
Okay, because otherwise we're looking at a report and the numbers
Right.
don't add up to what's there, and then it looks like we just said it's good. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we own the little island at the bottom of Centennials where there's a bus stop?
Yes, ma'am. I know, it looks horrible.
I seen somebody's grandmother there waiting on the bus,
It's horrible.
and it was awful for her to have to sit on that thing looking like that.
Right. We need a
I'll
bench
take
back.
my lawnmower down there. I just didn't know who owned it. I'll do it. I'm practicing cutting grass anyhow. I'll do it for the free.
Make sure you take your sickle with you, or maybe we can have a heights movement sickle. It's so high, you need a sickle. Your lawnmower-
Popsicle? That's the only sickle I know is a popsicle, Miss Mitchell. Don't start.
Okay, some of our ACH.
I'm sorry, Miss Stinson. You know the thing that the Grim Reaper carries? Okay, but that does need to be cut. And I have registered that complaint quite often. It does, and we need to find, we need to put the bench back. Now, the bench was broken, but we need to put the bench back because people are sitting on the flower bed on those concrete bricks, on those rocks. So that's not even safe. Okay.
Okay, some of our ACH withdrawals for the month of August, the total amount was $34,564. And some of those included Lincoln Heights payroll of $25,157, retirement payment to Ohio Public Employee Retirement, OPERS, for $49.76, Waterworks, $18.37, Automatic Data Processing, that's the company that processes our payroll, ADP, for $1,127, and US Bank analysis fees for $505. Our ending balance for the bank statement of May 31st, 2021 was $2,043,982.
Okay, so Ms. Pope, so you know page 3 is the same as page 2. Did you get my
I just looked at that.
okay, I did. I sent you an email, but you'll probably already gone. Okay. So
Okay,
we're on to page 4, correct?
yes.
Everybody, page 4.
So page 4 is just a detailed information of our beginning bank balance and our ending bank balance. Outstanding checks for the month of May were $352,520. And our fund balances are listed below. Our beginning and ending fund balances for all of our funds. Page 5 would be our check register. And Miss Key, you said 49649 and 49650.
Yes, and there was some more. So from 49652 through 49657 are missing. And I just stopped looking at that point because my eyes was getting a little tired. But I was just trying to see where they.
Okay, I'll list those as non-used checks. Some of them were non-used checks, I know, because I printed a report on them. So they were non-used checks, but I'll list those. I'll correct this report and send it back out to you guys. So you'll see the ones that were actually non-used.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So Ms. Pope, I guess it just kind of, I guess I was waiting to find it. So on the first one, the first report that you sent out to us, you had committee update, right? You had the Lincoln Heights fund balance, but you did not include it in this one.
Okay. That's because I printed this page twice, obviously.
Yeah, so that's what was missing, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me see. I thought I sent it the updated though. Yeah, I sent the updated one too. So me and you both are looking at the other one that I think.
I'm looking at one that says corrected.
You should have one that's corrected 6/21/21. If you don't.
Okay, then, oh no, okay, so I thought the one that I had in my mailbox was that one. No?
I had some additional corrections and that I did today. Some concerns. So
Okay.
what
So is Steve back? Is he there? So you could share that? Because we're going to discuss the Lincoln Heights Diamond Jubilee under other.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I did reach out to Jason from ICRC, who was going to catch up with Steve, but I thought he would be back by now.
Okay.
He's there. Okay, he's there. Okay.
He made her code. She's able to share a while ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I'm sorry about that.
No
my
problem.
apologies.
Let me see. Okay, so I can share. I'll share this. Share screen. I think it's this one. Can you guys see this? Can you see this?
Uh-huh.
So you're talking about this section here, committee updates. And Ms. Powder also had some concerns about it. So I went back and updated it to our beginning fund balance. Our carryover balance was 1,243. our 2021 appropriations is 30,000, right? Our year-to-date receipts so far collected is 5,200. Our year-to-date expenses is $776, which leaves us an unencumbered balance of 34,667.
All right, thank you.
Unencumbered just means that until we sign that contract and we actually encumber that money, you'll see that it'll come off as a negative of whatever the contract amount is.
Okay,
So right now it's not encumbered. That's why I listed it as unencumbered.
and that's fine. I mean, I would expect it to be that, because then once we sign it and do whatever and send it off, even before they send us the bill, then it becomes encumbered, correct?
So I can, I can put if it's your preference, I can put a line under this 52 and add those three totals. So
No, I like it like that. I mean, it's clear to me. The concern was, I knew that there was a $200 from last month, and then we didn't understand why the 30 wasn't there, when in our mind it was like, oh, we got some money. So that's fine.
yeah. Okay, yeah, because I had the 30,000 as a 2021 appropriation, but it was somewhere different. It was up above that. So I corrected that.
Okay.
Made it read so you guys can see it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the 5,200, where'd that come from?
Well, you got the 5,000 from the Port Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 200 from a resident.
That was last month. The 200 came last month.
Yeah, but the year to date.
That's total though, right?
That's so far what we have received as of this May report.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure if that's from the Port Authority or is that from Duke?
No, from Port Authority. We haven't received Duke's yet.
Okay.
What about closing the health gap?
We haven't received anything from them yet.
Was it closing the health gap, Durance, or somebody? Okay.
I sent an invoice to, I don't believe I sent one to Duke, but I sent one to Port Authority. I sent one to Closing the Health Gap, and it was a third person group. I think it was it GE, Mr. Daniels? But GE said they couldn't.
They don't do money.
Yeah, they said they would do something for the school opposed to sending out, money. Being a sponsor, they would sponsor a program for the kids.
And Ms. Mitchell, the reason why I'm asking is because this week I'm ordering the signs that's going to need to have the sponsors' names on there. So I'm thinking I can't put your logo on there if I don't have a check. And the further I put it out, the longer it's going to take for the banners.
Well, is there a way that we can, because see, I didn't know that. And so I'm expecting something to come in this week as well. So is this week the drop dead deadline for sponsors? Do sponsors know what the deadline is to get their logos?
Sponsors don't know. No, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But for the banners that I'm ordering first, those are the heavy hit. Well, we can talk about it when we get to Lincoln Heights Day Park.
Okay.
Or is this, I don't want to waste people's time.
Okay. All right, Ms. Pope.
Okay, so we were on that. So I'll send you guys out this corrected report and the check register. I think we're okay with the narrative, but we need the check register corrected.
So I have a question. If you go back to the check register, and this question is basically for Ms. Powdrell. So we have 3 companies, 3 contractors for our grass cutting. Now, do they have particular areas? And are they scheduled to come back each time, or, and so is this amount going to be the same because it's a certain area that they're cutting?
They have a certain area and they have a schedule, with weather permitting.
Okay, so this will be their usual amount for the area that they're cutting, or?
I can't say that, depending on the weather.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, but I mean.
It will, if they, yeah.
I have a question.
In general, that will be, but if the weather doesn't permit them to cut, they won't be able to cut. But
Oh,
yes,
yeah, I
they have a
understand that,
schedule.
but I'm saying, but when they do cut, I mean, I'm assuming that it's like 2 cuts a month or something, depending on, like you say, the weather. I was just trying to get a feel for what we were spending. Who had a question? Was that Ms. Key?
It was me.
Oh,
Staff has created a schedule.
Ms. Denson?
Oh, my question was, I know that you just said they have areas. Are they based on the type of equipment that the person has? Because it looks like they're all different dollar amounts. Are we making sure that we're evenly distributing the work?
Some vendors have greater capacity than the others.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to add on to that, May, guys got to keep in mind that in May, these payments were a little higher because of the length or the height of the grass. So it was when we first contracted these contractors, and so their invoices are a little higher. So hopefully these will start to go down.
Higher for the month of May.
Yeah, I believe it was for the month of May. We hired them like in April, I think, or May, but the grass was extremely high. And then we had all that rain, so.
Okay. And so are we expecting 2 cuts a month, basically?
They're cutting more than that. They're cutting once a week.
All the areas that they're assigned to are getting cut once a week, depending on weather.
One contractor is cutting on Mondays and Fridays. And then the other contractor is, I believe he's cutting a couple days a week also.
Oh, yeah, but no, what I meant, Ms. Pope, was that, so even though so Monday and Friday, I'm looking at the parts that they're cutting. So they're not cutting that, they're cutting the same one every week, right? Or every 2 weeks?
Madam Chair,
yes,
it depends.
Okay.
So I don't know what the question and where we're going.
Well, where I'm going is that I'm just trying to make sure, I like to see that there's some consistency in it, you know, given the weather, that it's being done, so that you drive by and it doesn't look like it's not being done. So, but I see that we've hired at least 2 more. The last time, I think the only one I saw was for T's Lawn Care in the on something, and so that's why I was just concerned how many we had, because I had asked that we hire more. And I'm just trying to get a feel, because especially for this week is our cleanup week, right? Not just the set out. Aren't we doing something all week to try to have this week look real good? And so I'm just wondering how we repeat that the next time, you know, so are we looking at that and I guess I'm just basing it on how we do it at my church. He cut twice a month at least. But if it gets
Madam Chair, my typical experience is typical cuts about every 10 days.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Is there anything else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
are you talking about anything else on the registry? Because I
Yes.
did pull up my my water bill and I have an answer to some of our
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
It looks like I am being charged a 63-cent fee. And you know, you get your water bill every 3 months. And as other charges for hydrant repair and replacement is what it's called. And so I look back at our bill from September of 2020, and that fee was there as well. So I'm not sure how long it's been, but it's not a new fee.
Okay, and it tells you what hydrant it is, right?
Nope, it does not. It just says hydrant. Nope, it just says hydrant repair and replacement fee.
Okay, because the bill that I look at, it actually gives the location of a hydrant, and that's why I was questioning.
I do have a hydrant. It's not on my property. It's on a property east of mine, but it's right next to mine. But it doesn't say which hydrant it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. I was just, when the lady said Lincoln Heights told us to put that on there, I was like, oh, okay. So I guess that came when we went to that type of billing. I don't know if it was there prior to us going, doing the new billing the way they do the water and the waste. Thank you, Ms. Key.
Welcome.
Okay, I don't have anything under new business unless someone else does. All right, so we under other. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair, I'm not sure if this is the appropriate time to discuss the RFP that we discussed under new business, or should we?
Oh, okay, we can do that.
Is that now?
Yeah.
Okay, so periodically, every villager should review their banking relationship. And apparently we have not done a review of banking relationships, and nor has the banker has reached out to the village. And considering the significant amount of cash on hand that we keep with the financial institution, I'd rather not say its name. I think it would be appropriate for the village to put out an RFP for financial services, to look at our value, to ensure that we are being served as a community, and as well as that we are absolutely getting the financial services that we need. So I just wanted to put that out there to see if anyone has any comments, suggestions, thoughts, etc.
So when we talk about RFPs or just talking about finance services, I can remember, just to share a quick story, when we were changing to the sheriff, and a lot of publicity that we had on other things. The bank did come just to check on us, but had not come to check on us for anything else, you know. And so I think it is a good thing to do, because they become complacent, like we're just going to be there. But if there are some things that come down the pipe, they should contact us and say, hey, you know, here's some things that's coming. What would you like to do? So I am in favor of the RFP, because there are other financial services that we are probably not aware of that our banking institutions should note for us.
Madam Chair, I have a question. How long would you say we've been with the financial institution that we're with right now? you know?
I'm gonna say 40 years. Not
Okay.
more.
Are we with US Bank?
You know, and the
Still?
names have changed, so.
Yeah.
I thought it was US Bank last time we did unless we were mistaken. I thought that's what it was. The last one was US Bank.
I think she was trying to not mention the name.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure. It could be wrong.
I know. All right. I just basically wanted to find out around how long we've been. I actually know we all
Yeah,
know
very
who
many,
it's with,
many years.
but I wasn't sure how long.
Many.
As far as the financial services, I'm sure each bank has bells and whistles, so it is worth looking into. And as you said, they do get complacent and get used to the same old. So thank you, Ms. Mitchell and Ms. Powdrell, for bringing this information to us.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
just from my perspective, I think it would be good to, if we put out an RFP, because we're going to be looking at homes being built, we're going to want to look at an organization that can help us do education programs for our residents who want to buy homes, or financial literacy classes, or helping them with their banking if they have a banking need. It would be nice that if we are partner or we're banking with a bank, that they also are able to provide some resources or opportunities for our residents in the community as well. So I do like that idea.
One of those opportunities could be to assist us in some way with the home improvement
Correct.
program that
Yes.
we were
Absolutely.
trying to get off the ground.
Yeah, you're right.
So Ms. Powdrell, do your
Yes.
thing.
Thank you.
I don't think it requires any action or anything. You just bring it to us and hey.
Yes, I just wanted to make council aware that we would be looking into that, strengthening our financial relationships with an institution, financial institution.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Denson?
Yeah.
Lincoln Heights Day.
Oh, okay, we're there. Is there any way, Stephen, that you can give me sharing capabilities?
Absolutely.
I'm Jeannie Stinson. As soon as Donna get off of her stuff.
Oh, what I gotta do?
All right, you got it.
Okay. Let me see here.
So what, so Donna, do you need to take yours down?
Donnie, you need to stop sharing.
Okay. Hi, Jeannie.
Yep, I'm doing it. Gotcha. I think. Okay. This is it. All right. This was the first page. This, I think Deepak called it a addendum. You know, I don't know these names, but this is what was sent to me. What I probably should pull up first, though, is the actual contract. And I can tell you what me and Deepak talked about. Everybody should have gotten a copy of the actual contract. And this has not been changed in any way of what the copy that everybody got last week. If you don't have it, that's why I'm sharing it. What you all can feel free to look over it and read it, do what you need to do. But the parts that Deepak talked about was part 5. They have to take that out. That word there. They have to take that out because we can't do that as a governmental service. We can't do that. And
So
it was
Jeannie,
somewhere.
did you click on it? We don't see it yet.
You don't, I
We
hit
just
share
see
screen.
we see your email, but we don't see the document.
Well, I don't know how to make you see the document.
The PDF didn't open.
Oh, okay. Well, because I don't know how to do that. Because I can see it right here. I don't know what. Stop sharing. Any pointers on what I'm supposed to do? Because I don't know.
You're not sharing the right screen.
Screen, yeah, you need to.
You
click
might
on
want to
the
open it up
document,
and then share it.
How do I share?
Open the document
Okay.
first, and
Okay.
then click share screen. And then
Okay.
you have to find that document that's open to share.
All righty. I'm going to do my best to try to do that for you. Okay. So you still can't see that? And then I hit share screen. What do I hit now? Oh no, this is down my nerves.
So your share screen at the bottom?
Share screen. Okay.
But
Can you see my
have the
screen?
document already open, right? You got the contract open on your screen?
Sure, I think I do. No, I don't. I just have the email.
Right, so click on it so you can open the document
Okay.
and then share it.
Open. So can you all see it now?
No.
Not yet.
How do I go to share? I don't even know where my Zoom link is. Oh man, I'm not gonna be aggravated.
Okay, Jason, can you go in there and do that, please?
Yeah, why can't somebody else share?
Well, it has to be your screen that's shared.
No, not if you make somebody else the sharer. I don't even know where you all are now. I can't even find my face or your beautiful face.
Just click,
there you go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Pope, you didn't get this document. Dang on it. I never had this problem before. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay. Slow down. You get it.
So I go to the document first.
And open your document.
I'll go to my email, go to the document. Okay. And then I pull the document up, correct? Open.
Okay, now hit share.
I can't hit share because I don't know where I am. I don't know where you all are.
Minimize your document. Minimize your document. You know, once you hit that little.
Okay, I see. Now hit share.
Now
and click on the document.
Yep.
Bam. You all are just so smart.
There you go.
What do you see now?
Yay.
Okay. Now I don't know if you all read over it, but these are the things that Deepak said that we probably should discuss. So I'm gonna go over that before you all give me your other stuff. On 5, where that word,
indemnification.
Yep, that's gonna be taken out. They've already agreed to take that out. Nothing has been taken out yet. This is the original contract. They're gonna take that out. They agreed to take that out. Also, it says 10% or something has to be paid. Is actually 50%. That needs to be corrected. 50%
before
at signing, and then the other 50% 7 days before the event. Okay, and another thing Deepak talked about was a rainout day, because according to this contract, it says that if it rains, we don't get our money back. You know, I wasn't having that.
I know you had it.
Any day, if we get a rainout for that whole entire weekend, if we know, because we check the weather, if we know that it's going to rain that whole entire weekend, we just have to pick another weekend that we can have this event. That's how that would work. What was the other thing? I think that might have been it. And it's a couple of things that we need volunteers for, but that's something that I'm already working on. I'm almost positive that's all that it was. So did anybody have any questions?
Why don't you scroll up a little bit? Can we see some of the other things?
What, just which way?
That. Okay.
What do you want to see?
Yeah, just.
Okay, I'll stop right there. I know I can't see that on the screen. That's why everybody has a copy.
Madam Chair, I got a question. Because I saw rides and rental. When it comes to the rides, are the residents paying for a particular ride or no?
Only thing that I want to charge for, this is our 75th. I'm not trying to I just don't want to be in the red. Only thing that I had planned to charge for were the booths and the zip line. That's it. Okay. That's all that I plan to pay, collect money for the zip line and the booths.
Okay, so the company, they won't be charging or asking the.
No. Once
Okay,
you
it's
pay for
all
your stuff, you
included.
pay for it. Yep.
I
So
like
just
that.
free rides, people just wait in line. No, or is there any limit or
Okay,
anything like that?
great.
Nope.
Okay, that's
No.
great.
And the coordinator who's setting up everything where everything can be, the fee is already included in all of this. And this includes the rides, the stage, the performer. They're even throwing in I'll go down to this page where it tells you, if you don't mind, I think it's on one of these pages, like the stilt walker and all that. They're going to do our parade. They're going to do it's not on this one. So how do I get to the page where it tells you everything that you're going to get?
Was that your
That's a separate document?
second document?
Yeah, it's on that same email though. So I got to pull that
Oh
up.
yeah, just minimize this and go to that one.
Lord have mercy, minimize.
So does that include sound? Do they do the sound?
Sound.
Okay.
They even threw in a couple extra tent and a couple of extra things that the coordinator thought that we may need. And she just said, let's just ask him for it and let's see if he'll throw it in. And he did. Because the bottom line is this company wants to be able to come back as well as work with minorities. So these are the things that would come with it. I don't know how fast y'all want me to go.
Okay.
You saying okay, like keep going? Well, I'll read it off. How about that? Stage and the sound production, a second stage, musical entertainment for Saturday and Sunday. The artist, she'll come back as one. Well, she'll be one person one day, and the next day she'll do something because she's from Lincoln Heights and cater more to the kids. Entertainers, we have the stunt show and the Wheel of Death. That's just for one day. That's just going to be Saturday, and it's going to be 2 different times. That might be why she got me 2 stages. And for the parade, we have some stilt walkers, and throughout the day, just some balloon artists, things like that to just entertain the crowd. A magic show 3 times on Saturday. I think that's Sunday. Right here it says Sunday. So I knew it was entertain me on Saturday and find me something for Sunday. What else? Then we have the zip line. They went on and gave it to us for 2 days with the coverage. Somebody will take care of that. We have mechanical rides. You can see here where it says the client will provide an attendant and no additional cost is in with the same fee. And these are just the other things that we need. That sanitation station, they actually, I think Ms. Pope, I think they actually order it from Rumpke or somewhere.
Okay.
I'm going to double check with them so that we don't have double sanitations and not paying double. Okay, I meant to tell you that.
Okay.
So
and what's not included in this that we're going to need is the electrician. I can remember, I know the electrician cost is not in here, but we have an electrician that lives in Lincoln Heights that we have used previously that I'm going to reach out to. I have not yet.
Okay.
So Ms. Simpson, on the security provided by the sheriff for 3 days, so is that gratis or is that built into our cost?
No. She put that there because she wants us to know that, because I told her, I said, well, she said, well, who's going to watch this stuff? I said, well, we got sheriff. So we got sheriff that's going to, make sure that nobody walks away with their zip line or bouncy houses.
Okay,
right?
so, but is that support coming from them or is that us?
No, we gonna provide that. She's saying that that's securely provided by the sheriff department for 3 days. That's us. We're gonna do that.
And my question is that, and maybe Ms. Powder or Donna can answer it, is that included in the contract that they are going to just do, or is that part of what we paying for?
I'm not clear. So Vice Mayor, is that you're asking the village to provide that? Or
the sheriff is in their contract that they do Lincoln Heights Day, I thought.
It is.
And that's why I'm just verifying.
Then that's fine. That's all I needed to know. Thank you, Vice.
And I'm not asking them to sit down there the whole time and and babysit the stuff. Last time Mike slept there, Mike and a friend slept there. So it's gonna be a big area. They need to patrol that area. Bottom line, I thought that's what they had to do. If I need to get some more security, I need to know.
Yeah, I think it's good to know what their schedule would be for that. You know what I'm saying?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor talked to DePotley about that and how much of that contract says that they do the whole weekend. I think the last time they did something, they did monitor that, but I'm not sure about the contract piece. So all you do is check.
And the 3 days includes Friday?
Yes.
The manager can do that.
Yeah. Madam Chair, so it was, you're correct, Ms. Charles Jeter. It was a collaboration of I asked from hubby and another previous resident of Lincoln Heights, but they did collaborate very well with the sheriffs at that particular, the last time we did the festival. So it just depends on what's in their contract now, but yeah, it was a great collaboration with the resident and the sheriff's office.
Yeah, the contract,
security.
The contract gives you different things that they will do, but it may not include everything that we may think it does. So we just need to check.
Yeah.
My concern with this contract is we need to make this happen. And I don't know what are our next steps. The things that need to be changed, do we change those and send it back? Or is that something that they have to change and send it back? Because I'm thinking with a contract, you bounce it back and forth. You tell me what you're going to give me, and then I'll write back what I want.
Right. I think we give that, and Ms. Powell, correct me if I'm wrong. Whatever Deepak says, he can write that up and y'all resubmit it, and then they make an addendum to that particular contract.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Vice, I would recommend that you allow Mr. Desai to make those changes to ensure that you get the correct changes.
Right.
And then let him lead on it. And then Vice, you make sure as a follow-up to make sure that those changes that you're making are done. So, you've got double checking there. You should be.
What other changes do you all see that might need to happen though? Because I want to be able to give this back to him so we can, I need this up off of me.
I think they need to. Yeah, you did a great job. So
wonderful job.
I would just be just to ensure, and Donna and I can check on it, that as well as Councilwoman Charles Jeter says, just make sure what the sheriffs will do on behalf on that day.
Well, that really what the sheriff's gonna do really has nothing to do with this. We're gonna make sure that their stuff is okay. That was just me and her. And I hate to say this because we're on camera and she might be watching, but Brandy likes to talk. She's just a talker, and she probably just was putting in all kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Because what they got to do with the sheriff, if we already say we're gonna get it, they know that we gotta take care of their stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just want to make sure that they're aware of the scope. And again, we're always trying to foster a very good relationship, partnership, collaboration. So we just make sure everybody's on the same page. That's all.
So I think the other thing is that if they do set up early, if they're going to set, they might come in on Wednesday or Thursday, that we just need to know enough time to let the sheriff make that schedule change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And she will let me know. I talk to her all the time. That's not a problem. I don't see that being a problem, Ms. Mitchell.
Madam Chair, I did have a question for Vice.
All right.
On the entertainment part, is that etched in stone, or are you going to be adding local talent or churches for Sunday, or just that?
Are we trying to dig into my bag of surprises, Mayor? And this also includes that price includes the DJ to spin music all day Saturday and Sunday, even if there's nothing going on. So music is being played. But thank you, Mayor. But I might have a few surprises.
Okay. That's because when the residents asked me at Kroger's. about
If you know
entertainment.
somebody that wants to do some I think that it was a talent show or something that was going on, but you tell them to show up.
Okay, I'll tell him. He wanted to play his trumpet. So we'll talk.
Okay, and that's all that I have for this. And I know this messes up the budget, the cute little budget sheet that Ms. Key did, but this worked better for me. If we need to change something and put something in a budget and break this down, that's fine. Just let me know.
You know, the budgets aren't made to be cute.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine, Vice Mayor. What you got?
I mean, I'm just saying cute little budget to me because you know that was all over my head.
And this is basic, so that's, you know, and if the other events, so do we know anything of this is the only event that were happening so far?
Mr. Daniels? Is Mr. Daniels still on? Mr. Daniels.
Oh, there he is. There's
Mr. Daniels, are you still with us?
Okay, well,
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. All right. If I don't see any of the public on, Miss Baber, is that your hand up? Miss Baber?
And looks, is that her?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, I see your hand up and I just saw it.
My hand was up from probably last week.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything you want to share or ask about Lincoln Heights Day?
Oh, no.
All right.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I would like to add something. We need to be sure that we can get these the flyers out. People are stopping asking me if we don't if I can't get them to them, then they will maybe miss the parade because
it's finished now. It should be in your email.
Okay, they are signing up all over the place.
Well, I have a question to that note too, Ms. Stinson, for the vendors. So the trifold says that there's some additional information. So I guess that's
what trifold?
Well, the little piece of paper that says that you fill out if you want to be a vendor, but it says there's some other information. I guess is that the health department information?
The vendor sheet shouldn't be a trifold.
Well, I mean, it has 3 sections. Okay.
Okay.
And it is blank on the other.
Yes,
side.
that's because I lightweight had a deadline for vendors because I wanted to do a Zoom meeting to let everybody know to every time somebody asks me something, I said, contact the health department so you know the things that you need to do. If certain temperature got to be on food, I'm just verbally telling people that. But I wanted to have a meeting with all the vendors so that everybody was on the same page.
Okay. I mean, all right.
What you got to say, Mitch?
But no, I'm just saying that it says on there that the information is available.
Yeah, that was done way before I even really had a grasp on how this was really gonna go down. It still just looked pretty, so I'm gonna keep using it.
Okay. Okay.
But feel free, if you know anybody that have questions, they can call me. They can.
Not a problem. I just didn't want to give it out if there was some other information that was supposed to go with it, but I'll go ahead and send it to her.
And the parade sheet, Ms. Randolph has a copy of it, the new updated with the updated number, and she'll send it out to everybody.
Okay, great.
She don't know she has it yet because we just sent it. So that's it. That's all that I have right now, friends.
Okay, so Ms. Stinson, I just have one other question. Are you going to set a definite date for vendors or for the sponsors to get you the logo?
I think that I should leave that up with up to that other Ms. Mitchell.
Well, we can talk about it later. I just need to. I mean, I'm just saying, go back to ASAP and ask them what's their latest that they can get it.
I'm gonna wait on you, Ms. Mitchell, because I know you out here trying to get it. So I'm gonna wait to the end of this week before I go back there, down there and talk to him.
Okay.
I have faith in you that you're gonna get it together. I appreciate you. No, I know how hard you've been working on this with me. I appreciate you. Honest to goodness, I do.
Thank you.
Madam
Yes, ma'am.
Chair, to Ms. Jeannie, I did get a response back what you asked me to try to do. And that person is working on it. I got it this morning.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
Great job, Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Ms. Mitchell.
Thank you. I don't see anybody from the public on here. Does anybody have anything else? Your hand up, Donna?
Madam Chair, don't you have to approve my minutes or whatever?
Your report.
Yes, ma'am. We will ask for that at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You still got to stay to the end of the meeting now.
So we had discussed earlier, I don't know if we had talked about a motion, but I think that as we discussed it more, we didn't want to do that. I don't see I don't know if Mr. Daniels, he's still on.
Yes, ma'am. I'm still here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I just, it was more so, and I know we had brought up before, and I'll take your guidance on this one. But as we talk about dollars that are potentially saved, is there some type of way from a finance committee perspective that we talk about just something as small as whether it's extra litter cleanup or reaching out to also some of our community members as well to help assist with some of the maintenance within the community. Obviously with grass cutting, that's a little bit different, because you got to have insurance and things of that nature. But are there opportunities where residents might potentially sign up for more, maybe small stipends to do some walk around with trash cleanup and things of that nature? I know this is community cleanup week this week, but until our service department is fully intact, which it sounds like within 30 days, so we may not even want to go down this road if you don't feel it necessary, Madam Chair. But just your thoughts and the committee's thoughts on potentially using some dollars saved to potentially give the residents a small stipend to go out and do some cleanup in the community as potential service workers and things of that nature.
Okay, Ms. Powell, would you like
Well,
to-
I think that looking at capacity, I think we want to stay the course, and which course that we on. We've hired contractors to do that. I don't think that we have the internal capacity to manage people if something happens out there. And I think we'll be interviewing shortly for a director of public works. And I think that should be under his or her purview to manage the day-to-day operations of the village.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, like I said, I agree with you on this back on the grass cutting piece, more so on the litter, because I know that's a little bit, not, like I said, not as heavy duty, but no, that makes sense, especially like you said, if you have about a month to get that public works director, his or her title correctly in going through her game plan. But yeah, just I guess we're something we can look back to maybe 60 days from now. If we see there's some any type of stall back or something we have to revisit, maybe when we come back from recess in September. And if we're still at the status quo, maybe that's something we can look back up to then, if that seems appropriate.
I think I just like to state that, many residents don't see what we do, how we get funds. They don't see that, but they are quick to say how we are or are not spending money. And that is by how the community looks. So, we really have to remember that. Just in the years that I've been here, it's always the streets, it's always the grass, it's always the things that they see that are tangible to them, that they don't see happening, even though we know that we're doing this. They don't see that. And so we get those kinds of phone calls, why aren't y'all, hey. So it is important that we really get the public service department and anybody else. I know the Heights movement is trying to do the senior cuts. So,
Madam Chair.
yes, ma'am.
And that is an excellent point. And I think somebody may have brought it up. It really is a good idea for us to consider doing an annual report so that the residents of Lincoln Heights really know where all our funding is going, not just from the service department space, but other areas, how our income comes in and how we spend it. So I think that is just as a good habit to form for the village so that the residents are clear about how we allocate our resources in the village. So I totally agree with you on that.
All righty. Now, can we get a motion to recommend to council that we accept the monthly finance report?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Any questions? There are no questions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposition or abstentions? Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
So move for adjournment.
Second.
I was waiting.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I was looking to see if the mute was on or not. Okay, I'm good. Second.
All righty.
All in favor or what, Mitchell? We done?
She said, get out.
Okay.
All in favor?
Sure.
Aye.
Aye.
Then we
All
do
right.
that.
Thank you. Ms. Pope.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Good meeting.
All right, Ms.
Good
Pope, I'm gonna
meeting.
send you an email. Please check it.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you at the village or you?
I'm at the village.
Oh, okay. I'll come back there. then.
Just